Chapter 2. The story hasn't begun yet to finish. At the mansion after the encounter on the rooftop, she walked in her sleek black dress, her lustrous chestnut waves cascading down. That bright and radiant gaze of confidence. Macera was stealing everyone's attention with her noble presence and Victorian beauty. But someone hidden in the crowd was watching her silently, stealing glances. Whether he admitted it or not, this lady was taking his breath away since the moment he met her 2 years ago. No one could blame him. She looked like a fairy tale princess, as if she had stepped straight out of a long-forgotten century. Her aura was magnetic, impossible to look away from. But within seconds, dark clouds swirled inside him. A familiar storm of hatred and revenge returned, triggered by a voice beside him. What a cunning girl. She never misses a chance to show off, his uncle Hassan muttered, filled with contempt. She and her father Raza crave attention. How cheap. Even after losing everything, she still dares to show up. He added venomously, after what she said in the hospital corridor that day. I still can't believe what kind of beast she is. Flashback. It was the day Heil died. Everyone was rushing, anxious, waiting for the doctor. Huzur's clothes were stained, his twin sister's blood soaking through. That corridor felt like a path of thorns, each second a deeper stab. He wished, desperately, that he had been a doctor that day, just to save her. Then the doctor came, his face tense, heavy with unspoken grief. I offer you my condolences. We lost the patient. Those words crashed like thunder against Huzur's chest. His breath caught. His eyes reddened. A flame of disbelief and fury lit up inside him.
No, you're lying.
He shouted.
My twin is alive. Go and save her. I said go and save her.
His uncle and his cousin Jessoer had to pull him back. He hit the walls in rage over and over until his hands bled. And then, breathless, he broke into the room where Heil lay, cold, soulless, gone. He reached to touch her hand, then collapsed to the floor, whispering in broken sobs.
Why did you leave me alone on this planet? Don't go. Please don't go.
He lost consciousness. In the same corridor, his uncle had noticed someone, Macera. She was there. She hadn't seen Hassan, but he saw her. She was sitting, trembling, sobbing.
Hayal is dead. Oh my god. What have I done?
She cried.
Chichek, what have I done?
My dear, this is not your fault, Chichek said gently. Your father forced you to take that case because of his greed. You were just doing your job.
Separating a mother from her child?
Macera broke down.
What kind of person am I? To hell with me and this job. I can't do this anymore. No!
Macera, hey, where are you going? Hassan had witnessed it all. Back to now. I'll never forget what she said that day when her friend blamed her. Hassan muttered beside Huzur, his voice full of poison. I just did my job. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Life goes on. The child still has a father and an uncle after all. He scoffed. Unbelievable. What kind of heartless woman talks like that? But no worries. Thanks to you, nephew, we got what we deserved. I'm glad you accepted my offer eventually. You did the right thing. The mansion is finally in the right hands. He leaned closer with a crooked smile. Let her strut around like a queen. Let her think she's still standing tall. Sooner or later, karma will remind her who she really is. And we'll be there to watch her fall. Hassan kept speaking, but Huzur wasn't listening anymore. His eyes were fixed on Macera, burning with the fire of grief and rage. He looked at her like he wanted to destroy her. Then he took a long, deep breath to control himself. At the same time, Macera walked in like a noble princess. Every step, every glance carried a magnetic grace. She stepped onto the stage with the poise of someone born to shine. chest lifted, chin high, and the room went silent. Her sleek black dress shimmered under the lights, but it was her aura that outshone it all. She reached for the microphone.
I just wanted to say congratulations to the Aslan family.
She said, her voice smooth as silk, yet laced with something sharper underneath.
After everything they've done to acquire this mansion, a gift from my father, it's only fair to celebrate them tonight. As many of you know, Mr. Hasan Aslan is a famous doctor who worked with my father in his own clinic. What a coincidence that my father wanted to give him not just the mansion, but also a promotion at the clinic.
She let the silence stretch.
So, may I have the honor to welcome Mr. Hasan Aslan and his esteemed nephew, Mr. Huzur, to the stage. Come on, everyone! There's a big round of applause for this hard-working family.
A scattered cheer rose from the guests. Hassan leaned over to Huzur, gritting through his teeth. What is this crazy cunning fox trying to do? Huzur's eyes were narrowed, unreadable. He murmured,
I don't know, but it's a clever gesture.
Clever rubbish. Now tell me, how the hell are we going to play this right now? But Huzur wasn't shaken. If anything, he felt strangely relieved. He had done everything legally. With his friend Jessur's help, every paper, every process was airtight. And if the mansion and clinic had been listed for mortgage, then he had simply taken a bitter opportunity. A clean revenge. He thought of Hyle, their childhood walks. How they used to pass by this very mansion and dream. Big flourishing gardens, she had said, with animals. A moonlit lake, a home. This wasn't just revenge. It was redemption. He had taken that dream and given it to Mujiza, her son. A small act of peace in a world that had taken so much from him. With that thought burning inside, Huzur stepped up. Calm, radiant, confident. His tailored suit caught the lights. His hazel eyes gleamed with controlled fire. He moved like a man who had already won. A smirk curled his lips as he reached the microphone.
Life is a puzzle.
He began,
And you're a piece of it. My father used to say that to me when I was a boy. Whenever I felt down, he'd remind me, if you work hard enough, if you sharpen your skills, and aim with precision and patience, nothing can stop you from rising. Me, my parents, and my uncle, the Aslan family, we were always taught that power is earned, and impossible is just another word for lazy. I'd like to thank the Yilmaz family for accepting my invitation tonight and for joining us in this celebration at my mansion.
he turned his head, locking eyes with her.
Warm welcomes to you, Miss Yilmaz.
He winked, his smirk deepening as he stepped closer.
Checkmate.
The crowd chuckled politely. But Masra? She smiled. A polished, perfect, painfully fake smile. Her jaw tight, her spine steel. She held her dignity like a sword. But as she turned to leave the stage, her heel caught. Just a second. Just enough. Before she could fall, he was there, offering his hand with a gentle smile. His gaze locked into her ocean eyes. She froze. Everything in her twisted, confused, exposed.
I don't get this man. He humiliates me and then saves me. What kind of mixture is this?
She placed her hand in his. His touch was steady, warm. She looked deeper into his hazel forest, searching, desperate for a clue.
Who are you really, Huzur Aslan? And why can't I hate you as much as I want to?
She was thinking deeply. How am I supposed to sneak into the office room? I need to check the papers, find some clues. But how? This bloody uncle keeps watching me the entire ceremony. Hassan hated her for some reason. Every time he looked at her, he remembered her father, Reza Yilmaz. He saw himself, serving that man, being humiliated for the slightest mistake. That bitterness hadn't aged, it had only grown sharper. While he was diving into a storm of thoughts, a servant accidentally spilled some juice on him. You little jerk. How dare you? Are you blind? You poor people always lack nobility. He raised his hand, ready to strike the boy. Everyone watched in silence, the way he scolded him, the rage, the cruelty. Huzur saw the scene unfolding and stepped forward to interfere. But before he could say a word, a confident hand landed gently but firmly on Hassan's wrist. It was Macera.
I think you should stop here, Mr. Hassan. Nobility isn't about shouting your status everywhere. True nobility shows itself in the moments you choose mercy over anger. Isn't that right?
Hassan's face turned red. He wanted to scream, but then looked at the crowd. He gritted his teeth and stormed off without another word. Macera turned to the little servant with soft, sympathetic eyes.
Are you okay, my dear?
She asked. He nodded, though his voice was tinted with disappointment. Yes, madam. Thank you. Macera gently guided him to a quieter corner, away from the bustling servants and the main hall, ensuring no one could see them. Huzur, standing at a distance, noticed her movement and quietly leaned against the wall, curious, keeping himself hidden as he watched.
You look so young. How old are you?
She asked, her voice low and tender. 18, madam. She looked at him with broken eyes and gently touched his face.
Oh, my little boy. You're so young. Why are you working here?
My father divorced my mother without paying any alimony for my little siblings. I'm the eldest, so I dropped out of school to work.
What a dark world we're living in,
she whispered. She quickly scribbled something on a piece of paper.
Here's my number. I'm a lawyer. Give it to your mother and tell her to call me. I'll take your father to court to get the alimony he owes.
But we don't have money, he said, dropping his gaze in shame. She gently lifted his chin.
Who asked for money, my little thing? Just tell your mother. Don't worry about anything else.
Oh, thank you so much. You're an angel, Abla.
What's your name, my dear?
I'm Marcin.
What a beautiful name. It suits you perfectly. Don't forget what we talked about, okay?
Okay, Abla. He left, and she stood there smiling, eyes sparkling with something between pride and pain. From his hidden spot, Huzur watched the entire scene unfold. He stayed silent, his heart quietly unraveling at the sight of her compassion.
What kind of woman are you? Why do I see a different shade of you every time? Which one is the real you? Who are you? Really?
At that very moment, Macera's gaze wandered, only to catch Huzur's eyes from across the hall. A silent, inexplicable moment passed between them. It was as if two long-lost souls had finally recognized each other, like the brief embrace of night and morning, lasting no more than a heartbeat. Yet in that heartbeat, there was peace, stillness, something beyond words. And in that sacred pause, some colleagues came to talk with Huzur. Macera took her chance. She quietly slipped away, heading directly toward the mansion. After all, this was her home. How could she not know every hidden passage, every creaking floorboard, every secret nook? No one could outmatch her when it came to hiding in these rooms. She made her way to the office, her heart pounding not from fear, but from hope. My God, please help me. I need to find something. This mansion, it's not just a house. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sound of voices, Hassan and Huzur approaching. Without hesitation, she slipped out onto the balcony, holding her breath. The balcony led to another room. She stepped onto the balcony for a while, eavesdropping on their conversation, and then, in shock, she slipped through the door to the other room. She prayed it would be open, and to her relief, it was. She stepped inside quietly, but as she turned to leave, she froze. There, standing in front of her, was Sultan Hanım, Huzur's grandmother. Sultan looked at her with a soft, enchanted smile. Does this house have hidden fairies? She cupped Macera's face with warm, tender hands. What a beautiful girl you are, my dear. The warmth of her touch pierced something deep inside Macera. She hadn't lived long with her own mother, but somehow, in this woman's hands, in her radiant kindness, she felt the same gentle love she remembered from her mother's embrace. Macera smiled, her voice trembling just
No,
slightly.
madam. I'm not a fairy. I'm the former owner of this house, Macera Yilmaz. And you must be Sultan Hanım, isn't it?
Sultan Hanum's eyes widened with recognition. Oh dear, I'm so sorry for everything that happened to you. I've always told my grandson everyone deserves a second chance. Macera blinked.
A second chance? For who? You don't understand. Who are you talking about?
Sultan Hanum opened her mouth to answer, but the door suddenly burst open. Huzur rushed in.
There you are. I was looking every...
He froze. His eyes locked on Macera. His expression hardened instantly. Tension, fear, and suppressed rage rippled through him.
What are you doing here?
He said sharply. His grandmother turned to him in confusion. Ah, Huzur, my child. What are you saying to this young lady?
Grandma, don't worry. She should know her limits.
He snapped coldly. Macera turned slowly, her eyes falling on a familiar box. Her mother's box of letters lay carelessly on the floor. This had been her mother's room. She remembered that she hadn't been able to pack everything because they had left the mansion in such a hurry. Her breath caught. Tears welled up in her eyes. She turned to Huzur, her gaze full of pain, but also silent blame. She said nothing. She didn't have to. Her eyes pleaded for understanding.
Why are you so full of anger and grudge? What did I do to deserve this?
Then she walked out without a word. Huzur stood still. Something deep within him stirred, like a silent ache rising in his chest.
And now, why am I feeling this sudden sadness?
He wondered.
Why shouldn't you be happy today?
Just few seconds before the incident, she felt lonely in the crowd. No one cared about the real reason she came here. The flames of her anger cooled in a second, and instead, her heart began to ache in a place even her soul couldn't reach. She was no longer Macera Yilmaz in this mansion. She understood now she was just a guest, someone passing by. Her mother's memories, her childhood, her entire world had been stolen from her. Like a broken child, she stood silently, her eyes locked on the swimming pool. Then, questions swirled in her mind, but she couldn't find answers. Why was he seething with anger, his eyes so full of hatred? She hadn't done anything, had she? The freezing wind bit through her bones, itching her soul with cruel reminders, until she heard a voice behind her.
Hi there. You don't need to stay here anymore. Ta-da. All done.
She turned around. It was Huzur, looking at her with a gentle smile. She stepped forward. 1, 2, 3 steps, until she was close enough for her scent to wrap around him like a secret. She leaned in slightly, rising on her toes just enough to meet his height, whispering in his ear.
Life can be unexpected, you never know. Today you win and everyone is clapping for you. Tomorrow you fall to the ground and no one will lend you a hand. And who knows, maybe I'll be the one lending you that hand. Mr. Huzur Aslan, the story hasn't begun yet. To finish.
She then slowly pulled away, locking her gaze into the forest of his hazel eyes.
Until then, celebrate your victory.
She turned to leave, but before her foot touched the first step, a scream tore through the air.
Oh my God! Mr. Hassan! No!
It was the maid. They both ran, hearts pounding, toward the source of the scream. There, on the floor, lay Hassan, eyes wide open, lifeless, a pool of blood under his head, and in his cold hand, a pen. The crowd gasped. Panic spread like wildfire. Half an hour later, the police arrived. They cordoned off the area, spoke with the maid, examined the body. Macera stood just outside the room, eyes searching desperately for clues, for anything that could solve the puzzle. Then, one of the officers stepped toward Huzur. Mr. Huzur Aslan, we need to arrest you. You're a suspect in the murder of Mr. Hassan Aslan.
What? What nonsense is that? I didn't do anything. I'm innocent.
Please let us do our job. All evidence points toward you. There's no point denying it.
What? No, wait. This can't be happening. He's my uncle. Why would I? I didn't kill anyone.
But the handcuffs clicked anyway. As they led him past Macera, he paused for a heartbeat. He looked into her eyes, confused, hurt, suspicious. Her earlier words echoed in his mind like a scratched old record.
Life can be unexpected, you never know. Today you win and everyone is clapping for you. Tomorrow you fall to the ground and no one will lend you a hand. And who knows, maybe I'll be the one lending you the hand. The story hasn't begun yet. To finish. The story hasn't begun yet. The story hasn't begun yet. To finish.